Hello, hello, hello. We are back. Week 5 of Roxy's weekly challenge. That is Rachel of Roxy Creations. Again, the hashtag and her YouTube channel will be linked in the description. Just a quick thank goodness there's no flippy flappies, double-sided page stuff this week. As I said, these first couple pages are getting crazy thick. But this week's challenge is using junk envelopes. You know, we get a ton of these. Everybody does. We get them in the mail, right? Every bill we get, we end up with an envelope. And, if you're like me, it all goes, most of your stuff is paid online or is auto paid. So you end up with all these envelopes that just, you end up throwing them away. Now I'm gluing and sealing this envelope closed because I didn't want to waste 2 envelopes. So I'm just sealing this up so that I then have a solid front and a solid back. You could do this with ones that, have been ripped open, like your outer envelope, where you rip open one side, because you essentially want both. But I also didn't want to use a windowed envelope because, again, I didn't want to waste a windowed envelope, number one. And number two, I also don't like covering windowed envelopes. So I was initially going to trim this on my trimmer, but because the blade is as dull as it is, I don't think I would be able to get as clean as a cut as I'm wanting. So, like, I don't, and I don't think I'd be able to get as close to the edge, although I'm doing a horrible job right now. And I don't know if it's noticeable on camera, but my hands are very shaky today. They have been since I woke up. Not exactly sure why, but it's making doing any kind of intricate anything very challenging. I was trying to do some die cutting earlier, and I'm like, okay, that's going to have to wait for another day because I can't hold on to the dies. I'm fumbling with the paper. It's just, not working out in my favor. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside for a minute. I'm going to use that again in just a sec because I'm going to use my swirl board. You want to go through, if you're using the back of the envelope, you do want to go in and glue down any of the pieces like this that are still sticking up. Even if you glued the envelope closed, there's always flaps that don't glue, that are even like the manufacturer's gluing didn't glue straight or didn't glue completely. So I just ran a bead of glue under each of those flaps. And I use Fabri-Tac rather than my wet glue, only because the tip on my wet glue is still broken, so I can't really get up underneath there like that. So, and I'm not willing yet. I'm finishing off the glue that's in that bottle, and then I'll completely replace the bottle. I don't want to have to try to transfer the glue from one bottle into the next. So I'm just going to finish out what I have. Oops, and I'm upside down. All my measurements are on the other side. I only have this out for the purposes of having a scoreboard. Because, again, shaky hands. Do I want to go quarter? I don't like this score. Cool. It's right here. Let me get the one that comes with the board. I'm gonna go 3/8 of an inch. I see, even that seems too much. But quarter seems too little. Yeah, I'm gonna go a quarter. If you feel like you could fold straight, you don't need a scoreboard. You can just fold it. And for me, it's hit or miss on a space this small. I can't fold straight. So I'm using my scoreboard just so that I have a better chance of having a straight pocket here. Kind of struggling with the challenges this week because none of them are really ones that I enjoy. Like this is a pocket style I typically don't use. So I'm like, but I'm not going to not do it because I don't like it. Okay. Now we're going to fold. See, there's still a little flappy there that didn't get glued all the way down. Oh, I guess I better get the glue ready, huh? Okay, we're going to glue that down. I mean, I guess I didn't necessarily have to. I could have cut around it in the next steps. Okay, so you're going to take your envelope, one front, one back, two backs, depending, whatever you have in your stash. Excuse me. And you're going to create a flap, one on each side. Okay. Next step is folding this up, not all the way, but more than half. Okay. I'm like really struggling right now. Okay. So now your little flaps are in 4 quadrants based off of this center fold. Right? You got a long piece, skinny piece, a skinny piece, and a long piece. Skinny, skinny, long, long. Okay. So you're going to take your scissors and you're going to angle toward this fold line. Stopping at this fold line. And then you're going to cut up the long and cut the side flap off. Sneeze. Sorry about that, guys. Had to sneeze. Felt it coming at least. And then same on this side. You're going to angle again, little piece. You're going to angle toward the big one, stopping at that fold. And then cutting off the long skinny one. I'm going to repeat that on this side. Okay. I'm also going to angle these two ends down here from the fold out. This is a personal choice. You don't have to do that, but I prefer it. Okay. Get this mess out of the way and throw it away. But I have my medicine and my tea sitting over here off to the side, waiting for my tea to cool off so that I could take my meds. So now you're going to decorate this front piece and this back piece. So decorate to, your aesthetic. Do you want them coordinating, contrasting? Do you want to use digitals? Do you want to collage it? Do you want to use book page? Tissue paper, you name it, whatever. Whatever intrigues you. So right now I'm digging through my scraps. Too short. I have more stuff I got to print out off of Etsy too. Like purchase some new kits. Let me trade that out. I like that print better. Again, not tall enough. Let's go with that one. Just so I'm not still, just digging and digging and digging, because I could dig forever in there. So I get my ruler out. Creating more scraps. Now this doesn't have to go all the way down. It only has to go until the pocket no longer is there, right? I'm just going to randomly pick a spot, tear it off, toss those scraps over to the side. And then here, let's see, this is about 3 1/4. I'm going to leave it a little taller because I want to wrap around across the top just to strengthen this leading edge. Pencil, where are you? It's on the floor. I remember knocking it off the table now. Wow, those are still not straight. I think that's better, but we'll see. Where'd those lines go that I just drew? Oh, they're there. Okay, so we're going to get that flat down here. Realize I'm slightly off screen and I apologize for that. I'm going to line this line that I drew up with a measuring spot. So with the dots there and the line here. Take that back. I'm going to go 1/4. Oof. Okay. And then I'm going to go a quarter over just so that I don't have to deal with the edges. Scraps, 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 garbage. So there's those two. This paper is really thick. Okay, line straight and straight. And then trying to line up. It's garbage. Garbage. And again, doesn't have to go all the way down, just has to go as far up as the pocket. Scraps. Okay, let's take these and put this away. Grab me some glue pages. Take a drink of my tea. And it's cool enough that I can take my meds. Answer this real quick. All right, glue stick, glue page, glue stick. I'm gonna use my Fabri-Tac. It's already ready. It's already ready already. Okay. You're going to glue one piece to the back. You could do these so that you have the flaps to wrap around the sides if you choose. Up to you. You can pull out your dauber, ink up your edges if you choose. Roxy does not, or Rachel at Roxy's Creations confuses my brain every single time. She does not ink. So, personal preference. Okay. And then this one, again, we're going to glue, and then we're going to have to do some trimming. Okay. And I want this to be flush with the bottom, which again, you don't have to. You could leave a little bit of space down there at the bottom and wrap it under. And then wrapping this over. Again, that's about creating just a little bit of extra support here at the leading edge of the pocket. Snip those edges again. Reducing that bulk. That's all that's doing. Refolding those up. I should have trimmed this corner before I glued them down, which I'll show you on the next one. There's that one. I'll set that aside for the moment. This is an Edith Holden book page. Very thick. If you've never had your hands on one, I don't know what to tell you other than see if you can find one. There it is. I'm like, where's my squisher? I'm just giving a little something on the edges there. Okay. This one I am going to glue, but I'll show you what I meant by trimming the corners. Which also shows why we have quote unquote sticky scissors in the crafting world. Again, I'm lining that up at the bottom. Coming in, squishing it down. And what I'm going to do is come down here. And I'm going to go along that line. So I'm kind of like as if there was a fold there. So it just kind of removes those little corners there. And reduces that bulk. Surprisingly enough, my glue is already not tacky. So gluing that down. And that just gives me one less layer here to worry about folding over. Just using my nails to score that. Get a little bit more glue up under there. I'm just gluing the two pages together, not the flap. Okay. And then trying to figure out where to put stuff. Very simple. When you have all your supplies anyway. Oh, there it is. And so I suspect my circle punch is on the table somewhere. It was buried under the other project. So I'm just going to use this. This is a whale tail, the coveted whale tail tab punch, but it does have a nice little semicircle there. So I just use where there's the flat edge, I just line that up on that flat edge and don't go any higher than that. And it gives me just that little semicircle that, we're looking for when we do the thumb pulls. And not only am I eyeballing where it's going, but I'm also eyeballing the center of my pocket. You could be precise if you're a precise kind of person and go through, with a ruler and measure it out and find your center and all that good fun stuff. Let's see if I can, I'm going to trim these off because they're in my way. I'm wondering what my husband is watching. I have Dateline live on in my craft room. And he has this week's episode of Creature Features on in the living room. Let's see, that's separating. Fix it now, fix it later. Choice is yours. Checking that side while I'm at it. Okay. Next part, super simple. Now, when you're making a pocket like this, you don't have to do these flaps, okay? But if you glue it up and you put a bead of glue here and a bead of glue here, put these in as if, right? If you just run a bead of glue, then you're losing real estate in your pocket. You could also have your flaps and glue your flaps down on the inside. But again, you're losing, you have space this way in your pocket, but you're still losing real estate side to side. But if you take your flaps and you fold them to the outside and glue them to the outside of this pocket, you have all the entire width of your pocket as real estate. So very similar to a library pocket. I mean, obviously a library pocket, you would put library-esque things like dates and, stuff like that on it. And I'm just going to put my clampies on here so I can set this aside while I glue this one. Okay, again, we're going to glue that up. Fold that over, glue it down. Wipe some of the glue off my fingers. See, then you have the entire the entire width of the pocket. Nothing is impeding with glue. Unlike if you'd glued it the other way. Now what you do with your edges, again, is a personal choice. You can round them. You know, but if you round down here, you might have to glue part of your pocket. Just saying. I've seen people do that or snip a corner. And I'm like, how do you do that and not lose, have part of your pocket open? But you can snip your tops, though, and make it look like a tag. Okay. I'm going to show that approach again. Snipping off one corner. Oof, this one's thicker. Okay, so this is the corner I snipped off. You're going to do a 90-degree flip, right? From here, flip it completely upside down. Not a 90-degree, that would be a 180. Flip it upside down, measure it up to the corner on this side, and then snip that corner off. And that should make your corners or your angles the same. So simple little pockets. You can see, I mean, it's the same design, but they have a completely different look based on what you put as your background papers, your covering papers. This one, I want something on there. I was wondering if I could put both, if I should put both of them in the book, but I think I'm going to put this over in my pocket stash over on my shelf. This one I'm going to put in the book. And again, as always, how you put it in the book is up to you. You can glue it completely down and it's a solid piece in your book. You can go side, bottom, side, make this a pocket coming in from the top. You could go side or top, side, bottom, and then have it be a tuck this way. Have it coming in this way. You can move it off to the side over here and do the same thing, but go this way. And then it's a tuck coming in this way. You could go here and here and turn it into a belly band. Choice is yours. The only thing to keep in mind is that if you glue the whole thing down, you have no other option. If you choose to glue it in as a secondary pocket and never use it, it's okay. But if you glue it flat, you no longer have that option. So in regular journals, I usually opt to leave it as some sort of pocket, tuck, belly band, just to give additional options. To the recipient of the journal. In this book, not bothering to do that, simply because this is just for housing ideas. Seeing this, if you cut it as a tag, could also be a tag in and of itself. So if I had a bigger, so say I don't have a sample here, but if I had a pocket, like if I made this into a pocket, right? I could tuck this in the pocket, and then I've got a tag with a pocket in a pocket. That's another idea. Grab my label book. Now, anybody that has seen me fight and argue with my physics has heard me talk about how stubborn I am about my my broken set of cutting plates. Well, one of them I finally decided to throw away because it keeps getting stuck in the machine. And I was trying to do some cutting last night, and I ended up having to take my hammer to the cutting plate a few times. First to get it unstuck, and then to get it out. And I'm like, okay, this is way more work than this needs to be. Especially when I have other things like other things I could be using. I still have my old cutting plates, my small ones. Or one of them, I should say. The other one broke completely in half, so it's been gone for a long time, but I still had the other one. And so I'm like, you know what? Let me just pull out the small cutting plate, and we're just going to improvise this, and I'll have a small cutting plate to use with my big cutting plate. And yeah, we're just going to call it good until, yeah. So yes, I'm still being stubborn. I still do not want to break open and into my my new plates. Sorry, I lost my thought. Trying to do too many things at once. I was looking for something in my stickers. Looking for a butterfly. Sorry, another sneeze. There we go. That was weird. But my butterfly container is underneath other things that I'm not too keen on trying to dig out at 9:45 at night. So see if I can just find something in these little rub-ons. My foot is hurting. Really kind of throbbing tonight because I dropped. I guess technically I didn't drop. I pulled my my container that holds all of my die cuts, my dies, the big heavy dies. I was looking for something in one of my bins, and I accidentally pulled it down on top of pulled it off its shelf while I was looking, and I wasn't able to catch it as it fell. Needless to say, it landed squarely on my foot. The entire container full of dyes. So, my foot's a little bruised. My shin and my ankle is a little bruised, and it kind of hurts, And I'm like, well, as always, I'm grateful that. Wait a minute. Okay. Why is this not working though? I don't understand. There it goes. Whoops. Hold on. I was doing a lot of squeaking, so I was like, let me mute you guys. First time I've actually ever used those rub-ons. They belong to my kiddo, but they're here, so why not? But that was a lot of work. Almost as much as trying to get the backing off a stinking sticker. Yeah, just something simple. Nothing fancy for the idea book. That is week 5. Ugh, goober. Glue goober. Simple. Week 5. Little library pockets. So again, mailing envelope, front, back, separate pieces. Going to fold up roughly a third of the way up, wrap around to the back so that you maximize your pocket space. Voila. Instapocket. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next week for week 6 of the Roxy's Weekly Challenge. Bye-bye.